So we're recording now. I can see that.
Great. Well, I'm just gonna start right away.
Yeah, just get into it, Rosa.
I have a story to tell you. Okay, this is since it's first times, episode 1, first time. We're gonna talk about first times. I'm gonna talk about the first time I ordered a dildo from Amazon.
Oh my fucking god!
And this is a story that I've actually, from the laugh factor, I've told it a bunch because it's so fucking funny. But I waited to tell you this because I just needed you to hear it. So, okay, I ordered one of those dildos that has like a suction on the bottom, like a full-on like dick, like a big dick dildo.
Can wait, like is
balls.
that so you put it like on the person's forehead?
You can. Well, I mean, I mainly got
Is
it
it
for
the floor?
myself. Floor,
Okay,
whatever.
okay, go on. Sorry.
Or like
go
the
ahead.
side
Go
of
ahead.
the
Go ahead.
wall. Anyways, like I had gotten a tracking number and then it said like delivered. And I was like, what the hell? It never got delivered. So I get home from work one day and I just see a package outside my door and it's in a soft, it's not in a box, it's like a soft with bubbles on the inside, like the air bubbles on the inside, so you could feel exactly what it is, like giant cock and balls.
Like how big? Let's just
Like
because it's
7 inches. Like
wow. Okay.
must be
okay.
this tall to ride. And there's a note on it and it says, "This was in the wrong box. Ha ha."
Oh my god!
I was humiliated.
Oh my god!
I didn't open it for a month. I couldn't even look at it. I was like, I'm not gonna fuck that now. My neighbor's like just in the next room over, laughing his ass off. He didn't even sign it.
Oh my god! And so then what happened? You just put it away in the corner of your house for a while, and then
Yeah, and then I eventually used it, obviously.
Okay.
It was staring at me.
Did you put it on a guy's forehead?
Not yet. Thank you for the tips.
Yeah.
And that kind of inspiration and tips is what we're here to talk about. I'm Rosa.
And I'm Rhea.
And we're going to talk about sex today.
And we're sisters, right?
We're sisters.
I mean, I think we could probably do a future podcast about our modern family.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we're going to tell you guys everything.
For now,
It's the first time.
Yeah, we just want to talk about first times.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I want to hear all about your first times because I know there's probably a lot.
Yeah, there are. And we're not going to do boring stuff like first kiss or first time fucking because that was a long time ago.
Exactly. Like, seriously, if you can actually remember the first time you had sex, great.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Good for you. Bathe in that memory because I can't. What about, okay, this is really on a hot topic right now because this is what you've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Bumble dates. First time Bumble dates or first time Tinder dates.
Yeah, I mean, I went on Tinder for the first time recently and
How'd that go?
well, at first I got really, really excited because I thought I went on there, I saw all these guys, I thought it would be just date after date every night, lined up, lots of dick. I got really excited, I'm not going to lie. But the reality quickly set in and guys were flaky, they wanted to text all the time and it was a real nightmare and I didn't actually go on a lot of dates. I ended up only going on 2 dates. So first time on Tinder was pretty anticlimactic.
Did you fuck anyone?
First Tinder fuck. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that. I did. And you know what? And maybe some people can relate to this. This is actually probably a pretty classic Tinder tale.
Tinder tale.
We could do another Tinder tale.
A weekly Tinder tale.
I had this sex for the first time on Tinder, and then the guy, after like a couple weeks, just straight up ghosted me.
Oh, wow.
But during the time that we were having sex, there were some things that I did for the first time that I can speak to.
Yeah. Get into it.
One of them being something that I've been really into secretly but never really done is I love making media or videos, but I love making my own pornos. And
How do you? So
it's
how
hard.
do you send it?
It's really fucking hard, especially when you got a hurt hand like I do right now.
Are you sliding into DMs with the pornos, or what are you doing?
Well, I liked your Rosa had mentioned to me earlier, just as a little side note, that you could actually have sex on Instagram because the messages disappear. So it works out really well. But I love making art. So any pornos or pictures that I'm sending guys, I don't want them to disappear. I'm secretly hoping that they're making like a web page with all the shit that I'm sending them.
Or a collage.
A collage, blowing them up and framing them, editing the videos together, making one large porno. I mean, there's so many options. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah.
So this guy on Tinder, I was really into making pornos in my mind, never done it. So I made, one day I said, can you shoot some shots for me for this porno that I want to make myself? I think it would be really hot. And I got him to shoot it. So there was none of him in it. It was just me, my face. Like I was proud as fuck.
Oh, okay.
Different angles.
Oh, he was there in the room.
Yeah, he's having sex with me, filming, like point of view,
okay.
you know.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then it looks so great. I'm so impressed. I take all this time. It's my first porno, so I'm like editing it. I'm putting filters on it. I'm getting all the best shots together on iMovie. And then I see him another time, and I say, oh, you know, I didn't want to like push it on him, but I said, I made this really awesome porno. And he was like, cool. And I was like, and then he didn't even ask to see it.
Well, he was there.
And,
like,
and I was like, you know what? Like, right then in my mind, I was like, it's over.
oh, okay. So maybe he felt that, and that's why he ghosted you.
Because I had put all this love into this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't even, like, if I felt like if I had been opposite, I would have been like, show me the movie right away, send it to me, I want to watch it and jerk off for like the next week.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
How amazing that you did this beautiful piece of art. And
okay, well, yeah, you did. I feel like you told me before you learned a lot from him. Like he was into like really like kinky stuff that you like opened yourself up to.
Exactly.
You're interested in,
Yeah.
and then you kind of went on in your own direction. You made your first porno via the inspiration that he was like bringing to you from other stuff, like dominating you or whatever.
Yes.
So maybe that just wasn't what he's into.
No, that's exactly what it is, Rosa. That's why I knew it was over, is because I had done something that really turned me on, that for the first time, and he was not into it.
Yeah.
So that tells you how important communication is, and to know what you're into. And that's why first times are so important, because you need to discover. If you don't open yourself up to new experiences, you don't find out what you love doing, and then you end up with someone who has a different taste than you. I want to hear some more of your stories, Rosa. Do you have any more? I want to hear about.
I have some I've been having sex on Instagram, and I love it.
Tell us all about that.
I fucking love it. This guy that I met, we never even fucked for like in real life for like 4 months, but every once in a while he'd just start like sending me pictures of his cock, or I'd like send him my tits, and we would have a little sesh, and it was so hot, like super hot. And I was like definitely anticipating, oh, I wonder when I'm gonna see this guy in real life. But it was super satisfying just for that. Like I felt really sexy, like it was really, really hot. Like to have a partner to do that with, even if they're not in the same city, or if they don't have time, or if I don't have time, that really turned me on. And now when I meet guys, I want to send them videos. Like I want to like send them, it turns me on. So like I like that being a part of like new relationships and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I love that too. I do that all the time. And I want to know what it was like when you did you meet the guy in real life first, or did you meet the guy, do the Instagram sexting thing, and then meet the guy?
Okay, this is a good question. I'm having a blank. No, I met him first. I've known him for years, and I always thought he's hot and stuff. And then, this is what happened. I started thinking about kinky stuff, like very entry level kink, like being dominated. Have really wanted to try that for a long time. So I started thinking about that, and I'm like, who would do that? Like, who do I know out there that would fuck me that way? And then I was like, oh, okay, I've never fucked this guy, and I feel like he's really confident. He seems like just sexy. And so I DM'd him without having done anything. I said straight up, I don't know if you have a girlfriend, but if you don't, like, would you be interested in dominating me? This is what I like. I like 69.
Did you really say that?
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Wow, you guys, that is inspiring.
Yeah,
Let's
I
just
said
take a
that.
moment.
And I was like, okay, are you down? Do you want to do all these? I listed off a few things, and I had to think about it pretty hard, because I was like, he's probably going to say yes, so I should probably ask for stuff that I really, really want. And he was like, yeah, I can do all those things.
So you made him a list, or like?
Yeah, I made him a list. I was like, these are the things I like. I also told him, like, I'm not looking for a relationship. I don't want one with you. But I probably, if it's good, I'd love it to be ongoing. If it's not ongoing, that's okay too. And also, if I text you afterwards, I want you to reply, but I don't want you to think it's because suddenly I caught feelings, because if I do this with you, I don't want to get ghosted, because that I'm going to be really putting myself out there. And he's like, yeah, that all sounds awesome.
And so then what happened?
He did like confirm with me that he did not want to be with me. And we were both on the same page. And so then eventually we fucked, and it was awesome. He took to it like a fish to water.
That is amazing, because, I think a lot of people really worry about that. And I have to say, I'm a huge believer in online dating, Instagram dating, slipping into people's DMs, all of that, texting, sexting, everything. But I think people always have a worry that what it's going to be like when I meet this person in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Could it be a possible disappointment? Like, could I be catfish? Obviously, that's hilarious.
I feel that way about Bumble and Tinder, and that's why I've never done it.
Yeah, of course.
It's just not for me.
No, it's crazy.
I have all those thoughts, and I don't want to risk it. I don't want to put that kind of energy into it. But yeah, with this guy, it was great. I did feel really nervous. Like, I was pretty tipsy, and we met up like late at night. And I was kind of had the giggles, and at one point he's like, "Okay, we got to get serious here." Like,
that's good.
No more laughing.
I'm inspired by that story, Rosa.
I think we should all
take a page out of your book.
That's the thing, and something that I really encourage everyone to think about is, if you ask for what you want, you'll probably get it, especially sex-wise. And if you don't, that's okay too. You can find somebody else. But asking is awesome, because once you start thinking about what you're going to ask for, you realize what you really want. And getting what you want, holy shit, it's hot as hell.
It's very hot.
Yeah.
And another first time, okay, and I'm 35 years old, and it took me 35 years to really sit down and think about these things, about what I really wanted. So don't feel bad if you don't know, right? Because I think women in particular have a lot of shame, right? Because guys will always be like, oh, what, you hook up with a guy for the first time, and he's like, oh, what do you want? What do you like? What do you want me to do?
Okay, I have never had a guy ask me what I like or what he wants me to do. No, whatever. I have not had a guy ask that.
You've never had that?
I think that's like a woke guy.
Anyways,
it's kind of intimidating when a guy asks
Well,
that.
That's what I'm saying. I've had a lot of guys ask me that, and it's not necessarily always a great thing, because you feel put on the spot. You don't really know a lot of the time, and especially if you haven't put the time in to investigate your own self. And so it's hard to have these types of conversations. So it's important, I think, to take the time, like you're saying, to write a list, write down the things that you're into, the kinks, the whatever, even if it's super vanilla. I like to cuddle after sex, whatever it is.
Yeah, I included cuddling too.
Aftercare, so important. And then when you're getting together with someone for the first time, you have these really open conversations with them, and you can have it can be really nice,
100%. So what about butt stuff?
Oh my God.
First time.
Oh my God.
First butt stuff.
And let's also, as an introduction here, let's just say that I am fairly vanilla here. Like, I haven't, like, I like a lot of things, but when it comes to butt sex, like, and I will also say that I haven't slept with a guy ever that hasn't wanted to have butt sex with me.
Yeah, they all want to do it.
Is that true for every guy that you've ever had sex with?
I can't remember every guy, but
Literally
probably 99%.
99.99% of guys I find. I don't know.
They want to see how far they can take it. That's just like how a guy is and how a girl is. Oh, just to quickly go back to what we were talking about getting what you want and knowing what you want, that is also a list that changes. It could change every single day.
Exactly.
And it's what you want right now. I didn't want that stuff when I was younger.
Exactly.
And I might not want that stuff in a month. I might want a boyfriend. I might not want to get dominated every single day. Maybe I just want to have regular old P&V and cuddle and
missionary.
Go to bed. Yeah, sometimes missionary is good. But writing down that list, knowing what you want right now, I think that right now is an important part of that.
Yeah, maybe you can revisit the list, right? Maybe you
all
have
the
a
time.
list that you sort of like erase things and you edit it, and then like maybe you have something on the list and you try it out and then you're like, nah.
Yeah, and it makes it very, very exciting.
So now, okay, butt sex though. Is butt sex on your list? Is that something that you've grown to love over time? Or like...
Yeah, well, okay, I've grown... Kate. Okay, yeah, butt sex. Okay, I don't know. When I was younger, I just wanted to please guys all the time.
Yes.
So my first butt sex I was probably like 15. I was like, sure, put it in there.
Rape me in the ass.
Yeah.
Do what you want. Isn't that disgusting?
Yeah, and also, like, I was dating older guys. They were definitely taking advantage. Like, first butt sex wasn't pleasurable at all. But because I was that age and because I really did want to please the guy, I felt like gratifying. It was gratifying to just, like, give this guy what he wanted because that was my state of mind back then. I was like, oh, well, if he's happy, I'm happy. And now, you know, the most recent guy, or sorry, not most recent guy, but a couple guys back that I was fucking, he kind of like got me into doing butt stuff because he was like pretty aggressive about it at first, like putting fingers in there and, like not just like
warming you up or like really being aggressive about it.
Sorry, not he would just like every time we'd get down, he would at least put a finger in there. And at one point I was like, you're really putting a lot of fingers in there, dude. Like, what's up with that? And he was like, well, girls love it. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm warming up to it, but I think you need to like slow it down a little. But then eventually one day he was like, no, get on your knees. And he like took a vibrator and he was just like, he ravished me.
Want you guys, my face right now, you guys, is like...
So that was like very, very, that was the first time it was pleasurable.
Did he turn the vibrator on?
Yeah, dude. Oh, 100%. Yes. And yeah, so that was awesome. And that kind of was the first time I was like, maybe I want to be dominated because I really responded well to that.
Yeah. That's
sexually.
Good. Take a note of that.
I was into it.
Taking notes.
So good for him. Yeah. And then no guy since then has really tried to do it in the butt with me, so I've been doing it myself.
Oh yeah, because I had a recent conversation with you about this, and because I had a bad experience a year ago with butt sex, and I didn't have butt sex ever again after that.
Yeah.
And Rosa recommended to me, and I had seen pictures of this on FetLife, and it's wonderful. Chicks just like literally buying themselves a big old dildo and putting it
check.
And they're in their bathroom.
Check.
Okay. On the floor.
Coconut oil.
Yeah, check. Bathroom floor. And they have a fucking dildo in their ass. Yeah. And then with the other hand, they're taking a sweet picture.
Yeah, I don't take pictures. That's for me.
The point is that Rosa says this is how you get better at butt sex because it's an issue for me. Like, I've tried smoking weed. I've tried getting a little drunk. I've tried coconut oil. But, you know, you have one bad go at it, and it's hard to get back on the saddle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think even the wording, like you're saying, good at butt sex, this goes back to like how I wanted to just please the guy because he really wanted it. It can feel really, really, really good.
I believe
the people who like it, it's because they figured out what feels good for them. They figured out how they're the most comfortable, and then they go to town. And it's like you don't even have to get like fucked hard in the ass. You know what I mean? Just like even penetration, and then they can like do other stuff at the same time. Like there's a lot of stuff that you can do, and the only way that you're going to know what you like and be comfortable enough to tell people is if you do it yourself. And everyone, all the sex experts say that about masturbation, but they don't say, and that includes putting a big old dildo in your butt.
Yeah.
That might not be for everyone, right?
Yeah,
don't do it. Her face, she looks like she's gonna barf.
I don't know. Like, I'm definitely, and I'm gonna keep you guys posted on this because I think this is important because I
you
really
could have some good times.
I've had an aversion. Like, I'm not. Yeah. This is a real thing. Like, for a whole year now, I haven't had anything in my butt, and. And I want to be better, you know?
She's butt sober, guys.
Yeah, and I'm like a butt virgin again. I've like been reborn as a butt virgin, and I want to get better at it and enjoy it. And by get better, I mean enjoy it, right? So
yeah, exactly.
I'll keep you guys posted, and maybe I'll go on Amazon later today and see what I can buy to help me with
whatever.
that journey.
And also, maybe don't buy it because your neighbors will probably find out. It's a cautionary tale, folks. Yeah, your concierge will be like, this is for you. They put it, like, I guess it came from China. Guys, I bought a cheap one. Like, I wasn't sure if I was going to even want it, so I just, on a whim, I think it was like $20. It came from China. The packaging was shit. I mean, it's not like it's like delicate, so I guess they didn't have to put it in a box.
It's got to be really sturdy, especially if you're going to be putting it in your butt.
So, and it's rubber or something, right? So, or latex. I don't know what it is, but yeah, be careful because the packaging might show everyone who handles it exactly what it is.
Anyways.
Yeah. So, and I've told some girlfriends about this too, but stuff like maybe once you know what you like, you can just tell the guy to stay fucking still. Pretend he is a dildo.
Oh yeah, that was the other tip Rosa had, which is really good actually, and I have done this when I did have butt sex back in the day, and it's helpful, is that the guy stays still, or maybe he's on the bottom, and then you control
everything.
Your butt going on his dick. That way, everything. That way it's not him, and then it's a lot easier.
First one night stand?
Yeah, I mean, again,
do you remember?
Okay, first of all, again, if you can remember the first time you got fucked and the first one night stand you had, God bless you.
Okay, well, I actually, I know I poo-pooed it earlier, but I do remember my first time, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty painful for women, but go ahead.
I also remember my first one night stand because I think I've only had one.
Tell me about your first one night stand then.
It was with a CFL player.
Wow.
Don't remember his name.
Wow.
Huge black guy, like very, very hot.
Okay, well that's like everyone's dream one night stand. I feel like if you're from Vancouver and you want to have a first one night stand, I feel like that would be the fantasy right there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but then the reality was very different.
The reality.
So I was serving him when I worked at Cactus, and it was Halloween. I was dressed up as a fucking cat. Like, obviously, he's going to ask for my number. I gave it to him, and then so after the game the next day or whatever, he came over, and you know what? This is funny, because he asked for what he wanted right away, and he wanted me to lick his butthole.
Oh, that's amazing.
I did not do it, just so you know.
So that was your first one night stand, and not only was it your first one night stand, but it's the first time a guy asked you to lick his butthole.
No, guys have asked me to do that before.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, but this particular instant, I said no. I didn't feel comfortable. Yeah, I literally don't.
You said no?
I said no. And he asked like a couple times, but we just whatever.
Oh,
we fucked.
Maybe you can reconsider 10 minutes later.
Yeah. Like he really wanted it, and that's fine. But I said no, and he didn't force it or anything. He didn't like annoyingly ask again. He just asked, a couple times.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure? And we fucked, and it was good. But then in the morning, he had missed his flight to come over, and they all charter a flight together as a team. So he needed to get a new flight, and he had never bought a ticket before because he was like, I don't know, they bring these guys up from Florida, that's their first time leaving the country. He had never flown before. I had to literally put him on I called the airport. Can this guy pay in cash if he wants to buy a flight? I think he was going to Toronto or something, can't remember. Don't even know what team he was on. Fuck. And then I put him on the Beeline or on the Canada line. I took him on the Beeline to Cambie station, then walked him down, bought him a ticket, and told him to get off at the airport.
Okay, that is really fucking nice. Oh my god.
Because he would have been lost. But that ruined the fantasy for me. That's for sure.
You're like, I will not lick your butthole, but I will take you on the bus to the SkyTrain station and direct you to the airport.
Yeah.
That's really thoughtful.
I mean, he didn't know what the hell to do.
Poor guy.
Yeah. And
that sounds amazing, though.
I think his credit cards were maxed out, or he.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know what was going on with him.
Yeah, he needed to get a second job, is what he probably really needed to do.
No, dude, I don't think they make very much money.
Don't.
No,
they
but
don't.
he was a full athlete. That's for sure.
That doesn't matter.
But I'm just saying, it was good in a sense because we got to fuck. It was fun, but in the end, I think one night stands are shitty. I really like to get to know guys before I fuck them.
Of course, and this goes back to what we were talking about before, is that when you have a one night stand, you don't have the chance to have these conversations where you discuss what you want. And then a lot of the times, I probably, 100% of the time, maybe 90, you end up not being very satisfied at the end of it.
Yeah,
right?
The guy just like puts his penis in you.
Yeah.
He fucks you, and then he comes and he's like, "Did you come?" And you're like,
No.
Like, what?
No, I didn't.
Did not come. But I'm gonna go now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and like that, I don't ever want to have that kind of sex again.
Me neither. I'm over it. I'm too old for that. I don't miss that part of being a teenager or a 20-year-old, because that was what I felt like my sex life really was.
Yeah, that was
it.
It was not satisfying for me.
No.
And so, I had a question written down here, and the question is there more to sex than just sex? Because our definition, the way like we've been fucking, the way that I've thought about sex for years and years, there's more to it than that. There's the before, there's the after, there's like all of the anticipation, the excitement, and then there's all the thinking that you do on your own about what you really want. And like, I don't know, you were saying it was your first time on FetLife.
So I have to tell you, I'm not an expert in these matters, so take everything I say. I'm just learning too, along with everyone. But I had heard a lot about FetLife through Dan Savage and just being alive, but never really gone on there. And the reason I went on there goes back to what I was saying before, is when I really took that moment to investigate the things that I were into, I realized I was looking in the wrong areas. So when you start making this list of stuff that you like sexually, you realize pretty quickly that it's hard to find those people on Tinder.
Yeah, I think I got lucky,
Bumble.
to be honest.
You might be able to, it's like a needle in a haystack, literally.
Yeah.
So you end up, I mean, maybe there's better websites. I would love if people could message me on
Is it an app or a website? Right?
It's a website, and it's not the greatest.
Oh, I thought it was an app.
Yeah, I wish it was an app. It should be an app.
Show me where these guys are that I want to do the things to me that I want.
First of all, if there's any app developers out there, please let me know if you can make an app, or if there's an app I don't know about. Anyways, so FetLife basically is a web page that you go on, and you can make a profile similar to Facebook. And it doesn't have to have your face in it or whatever. Sometimes it does. And then track or make a list of, on your profile, the things that you like or that you don't like. So you basically can start compiling, like, and it could be anything. Like on my list, for example, it would be like anything from like, I really enjoy, cuddling after sex, or being cuddled after sex, to being dominated, to be, I like spanking, or I like this dynamic or whatever. It could be anything. But just to give you an idea, and then that really helps you sort of make this picture, the sexual image of yourself in your mind of who you are and what you want.
Yeah, and that could help compile your thoughts
totally
too. So that's a helpful part of it.
And then also, because if you have a hard time finding people in the real world where that you connect with, like fetish wise, you can go on here and connect with people.
Okay, and are they in Vancouver? Or?
All over the world.
Okay, so maybe the guy that's out there for you is in South Africa.
Totally. But
dang.
But no, but not dang. Because if you are a person like you and I are, that can do texting, sexting, online stuff, it can be very nice to have. That's true. You can do a lot.
And you can also, if you do find somebody that you connect with in whatever way, shape, or form, talking to them can help too.
Oh yeah. And
just
that, yeah.
asking them questions.
Totally,
about
learning.
How they've, yeah, like, oh, what, you're into that? Like, I've never tried it, but I know I'm kind of want to try it. Like, how long have you been doing that for?
Exactly.
They say 2 years. They could give you some advice. They could, whatever.
Exactly.
You could learn something from them.
That's exactly what it is. There's communities on there, right? So you can, whatever you're into, there's a community on there, and you can learn more about it. And I think everyone should go check it out just to see what's on. And also, the thing I love about FetLife is the pictures.
Oh yeah.
And
Very
I already mentioned this earlier, but this is where I saw these pictures of literally, we're not talking edited photos here. These are raw pictures of chicks in their bathrooms, on their bathroom floor with a fucking dildo up their ass, and there's no shame in their game. Like, they are putting that on the internet, and I love it, and it's so empowering.
And then can you comment on that?
Yeah, and then so you'll see this picture, and this like totally normal woman, any age, whatever, just beautiful, normal body, no makeup, and people are just like, you look amazing. All the comments are so powerful. There's not, people aren't like anything shameful or anything, no bullies. They're just like, you look so great. I'd love to stick my dick in that or whatever, you know?
Oh, that's awesome.
So I love it.
Okay.
But, you know.
Well, this is my saying. I always say there's a lid for every pot, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's only one lid for a pot, right?
That's right. And you could be into things that change, right?
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, your tastes are always changing, and there could be lots of lids and lots of pots.
So
I want to know. So I just thought of something, and it was a combination of the butt licking, the CFL guy. So I want to know: is there a first time? Like, what if you're with someone, right, and they want, like, they approach you and they say, "There's something on my list I really need to do," and this is a good example. Like, a guy comes to you and he says, "I have this thing. I really want a girl to peg me."
Ooh,
right?
Yeah.
Here's a good, and then you're like, well, here's something that's really important to you, and I really want to please you, and I want to be a good giving girlfriend.
GGG. Good giving and game.
Good giving and game. And
okay, well, I'd have to get a boyfriend first. Let's start there.
So has there ever been a time, a first for you, where you did something that you weren't really into, but you did it for the other person to please them?
I don't know. Like, I guess, no, I can't think of anything like recently that was like in that kink realm, but I am GGG, like, especially if I'm in a relationship. If I always say this, like, if I'm dating a guy or if I'm married to a guy for long term and they come to me, like, I think that constitutes respect and loyalty. If they say, I want to get pegged,
yeah, you're right.
Like, because otherwise they're going to go get pegged somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I want to be part of everything they're doing, obviously, if I'm with them. So maybe I would do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to know.
I've licked butts before with guys that I've dated for a long time. I've done it. It was fun. They loved it. Or,
yeah,
you know,
they probably loved it.
Yeah, you, like, give a BJ, you go down there for a bit, then you go back up with more BJ. I know this guy showers. I know, like, that he's clean.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but I mean, it's a different.
It's not a one night stand thing for me. There's a lot of things that some girls would do or some guys would do right off the bat that I wouldn't do. But pretty much anything's on the table. If I'm dating somebody and they come to me, I'll think about it. I have an open mind. I'll consider it. I might not say yes. It all depends on what I want then, and like how much I love the person, and or maybe I'm married 10 years and I'm like, you know what, you should go get pegged by someone else.
Yeah, that's
like,
a real that,
like,
that can happen.
What if I'm like, babe, I don't have time for that shit. I don't want to do it, and I don't have time, and so you have my permission to get someone else to peg you.
Secretly, it's my worst fear. Like, it's seriously.
Is that your worst
not
fear?
My worst,
that wouldn't be that.
Not a worst
scary.
fear, but just like I would feel really like it would be really hard for me to do it. I feel like, so it would be like a challenge for me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because I want, like you say, I want people to do stuff for me, and in exchange for that, you have to do stuff for other people, right? And that's about being a good partner, right? So you have to be prepared for the worst case scenarios. And for me, a guy coming to me and saying, I really just need you to peg me would be a worst case scenario.
You know what? I'm the same way. Like, I don't know, like, if a guy wants to be dominated, that's not me. Like, I'm a very dominant, independent woman on the outside, on the streets. But in the sheets, I don't want to have any control or make any decisions, to be honest. Like, I mean, and maybe that's a little selfish, but I want the guy to be in charge of everything that goes on with me in the bedroom because I'm tired of making choices.
Nailed it. I mean,
right?
I'm exhausted.
I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah, I'm just exhausted. And I know that we talked about this before, and it's easy to go and say, really think about all these different things. But what it comes down to is exactly what you're saying, is being an independent, strong woman in the real world, you just get exhausted. I literally, it's so tiring. Yeah. I don't want to decide where to go for dinner. I don't want to pick movies. I don't want to do any of that. I'm just so tired of paying my own damn bills all the time that
Shout out to the sugar daddies.
That's right. That I just need to come home and just be told what to do. It's just like part of my nature. So immediately as an exercise in the bedroom, it's like hands off. Like I don't want to be part of any decisions. I don't want to manage anything. But in the rest of my life, I want to be the one who chooses dinner and movies and stuff. Oh, really?
Yeah, because you know what? I like to be mentally prepared, and I also like to enjoy myself.
Interesting.
What if he chooses a dumb movie? I don't want to go to it. Then I'm going to say, no,
I mean, I don't even... And listen, I'm the opposite. I want to be micromanaged. Like, okay. I want to be, if anyone out there wants to come micromanage me, please.
She doesn't need it. You're OCD anyways. You don't, I mean, yeah.
I know. I love it. But, I also have ADD, so it doesn't matter what movie the guy chooses. I'm not going to fucking watch it. I'm going to get up to go to the bathroom like 5 times. I'm going to go smoke a couple bong hits, and I'm probably going to bake cookies halfway through the show, so...
Okay, that's awesome. I feel like there's got to be one more first times that we can talk about.
I know, I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm looking forward to more first times in the future, to be honest.
Yeah. Ooh, what's the first time you're looking forward to?
Oh, wow. It's pretty dirty.
Okay, well, you can share it if you want.
Okay, well... Here, and we're going to link this to a future episode, okay? Because I'm super cannabis passionate. One thing, I've tried a lot of different cannabis products. I use cannabis every day. But one thing I have not tried, which I'm very excited to try, and it's so hot right now, is cannabis lube.
No, dude, I want to try that too. That's not dirty.
No. That wasn't the dirty part. Okay. Let me get to this. So I'm excited to try cannabis products and get back to you on all the cannabis lubes I try. But right now, I currently, as a lube, and this is something I only discovered 2 years ago, and I had literally wasted, however many years of sex life not using this, is coconut oil for lube. And obviously massage oil, everything.
As soon as you told me that, I started using it. It's
you guys,
incredible.
It's natural. Your pussy loves it. Your
butt loves it too.
Everything loves it. Your skin, your mouth, your hair, your dick, everything. Everything. Anyways, so I saw at the dispensary dosed cannabis coconut oil.
Wow.
And so I was talking to a guy at my gym about this kind of stuff I talk about at the gym, by the way. And I had mentioned that I wanted to try cannabis lube and all that. Not with him. I almost said I wanted to try that. I almost said.
You mentioned that while you were talking with him.
That's right.
There you go.
And he suggested, and this is something that I would like to try. I was thinking, what if you took some of the coconut oil that was dosed and you put it on your skin? Would your skin absorb the THC, right? Could you just... And I was like thinking about how would you get high if you put it on your pussy or whatever. And he said you should take
You definitely get high.
Well, I want to try that, so that I definitely want to try it. But he said that you should put some in your mouth and give a guy a blowjob.
Yeah.
So I am gonna. That is what I want to try.
Oh, dude, I'm right there with you.
So I'm gonna go. This is what I'm gonna try, and I'll report back to everyone about this. I am going to go and buy. I've seen it, the coconut oil with THC in it. I'm gonna put a tablespoon of that shit in my mouth. Probably some of my pussy first.
A tablespoon?
Maybe a teaspoon.
That feels like a lot.
Well, whatever. I'm going to do the right, whatever it is.
Because do you think it numbs your throat? Is that where we're going here?
No, I think it just gets you high. Like the point of me putting it in my mouth is I'm going to get high.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm going to ingest some of it.
Okay.
And maybe his dick will get high too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get high. His dick's gonna get high. My pussy's gonna get high. I mean, this is what I'm hoping for, anyways.
Yeah.
So the guy at the gym suggested I do this, the blowjob thing. I thought that was
nice
genius.
of him. Wow.
And I said, any more tips you have, send them my way.
Yeah, and that again, you got to talk about sex, otherwise you're not going to learn anything.
If I didn't bring up the cannabis lube at the gym with this random ass dude, I would have never had this genius idea of cock worshipping with cannabis coconut oil in my mouth.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I would have never thought of that.
So yeah, we're always right, basically.
Just be open-minded and talk to people.
Good. Okay, we want to hear from you. We want to know what products we should try. We want to hear your feedback, all your stories, guys and girls. Slide into our DMs.
Yeah, we basically want to know what kind of dildos we should be putting up our asses and all of that good stuff. So you can reach us at Rosa and Rhea on Instagram. So it's at ROSAANDRHEA at Rosa and Rhea. Please slip into our DMs.
Yeah, slide on in. Make sure you use lube.
Or coconut oil.